Hey guys, Tom Howard here. What I'm about to do, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Haven't planned it or thought about it. But I want to do a little riff, not a rant, but a riff. Just sort of stream of consciousness here on a subject that's been coming up a lot in my life lately, particularly within the vape community. And that subject is drama within the vape community. And I want to make something clear here. I'm not talking about any one individual. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not putting anyone on blast. That's not something I'm about. One of the things that I hear a lot on, say, Facebook groups in the vape community, or even on shows, vape shows, live shows, is the suggestion that there is somehow some inordinate amount of drama, and drama queens or kings, we'll just use queen to refer to male and female, drama queens within the vape community, that there somehow is a disproportionate, excessive amount of drama within the vape community. I don't buy that at all. Not at all. Is there drama within the vape community? Oh yeah, there's quite a bit of drama within the vape community. I've been sort of in the center of that to some extent here of late. But here's the deal. There is no more drama in the vape community than any other aspect of life. I can only speak from my own experience. The only thing that I can tell you that can't be debated is my experience, because my experience is factual. It just is. So I'll try for just a moment here to stay away from the whole opinion business, because, you know, opinions truly are like a portion of our body that everybody has. All right. This is my experience. I have drama in my work life. I have drama within different groups of friends. I have drama in my spiritual life in church and other aspects of my spiritual life. If I was on a bowling league or a softball league right now, I guarantee you that there would be drama within that sphere as well. Twice a year I put on, or I lead anyway, I have lots of help on a committee, but I lead men's retreats that are up in the mountains. And there's a lot of drama that goes into the planning and preparation and execution of that. It just comes with the territory. So what do I mean by drama? I mean generally negative people who like to stir stuff up. And sometimes that can be me, because here's the deal. Drama is a part of the human condition. In other words, I think a much better word for drama is negativity. And everybody on the planet, no matter how hard we may try, has moments or seasons of negativity. Some of us actually try to do something about that negativity. We try to practice positivity, to sort of incorporate the opposite of negativity into our life, and by the doing, the negativity gets squelched somewhat, but not completely. And there will be times when that will pop back up. And some of us do better than others. There are certainly plenty of people out there who are better at this than I am. And there are plenty of people out there who are a lot worse at this than I am. But I want to totally dispel the entire idea that somehow there is much more negativity and drama within the vape community than anywhere else. I think what happens is that we're all in the vape community bound together by a common peril. At least most of us are. And that common peril was we were cigarette smokers and we couldn't quit. In my case, I tried everything I could. I tried the patch, I tried the gum, I tried the lozenge, I tried cold turkey, I tried hypnosis. Well, that was a waste of money. I even had the Chantix, but I just couldn't bring myself to take it because I was too afraid what that might do to the brain chemistry. And none of that stuff worked. So I had this 35-year common peril called cigarette smoking, and I found this solution called vaping. And let's take a vape. So I found this solution called vaping. And sometime after I found this solution called vaping, I found a community. And we had shared interest. Now, it wasn't just the common peril of cigarette smoking and cigarette addiction that tied us together. The cement that really tied us together was the common solution. So you have a common peril, and that, gives us a common experience, but you have a common solution, and that really brings us together. And somehow we think, oh my gosh, since we have those two things in common and we're cemented together, there should be no drama. There should be no negativity. Don't deny the human condition, right? It takes a little humility to acknowledge that we're human. And part of the human condition is the negative. Part of the human condition is drama. And so we're all first and foremost afflicted with the human condition. So there should be no surprise. I think our expectation coming into the vape community is that it's all going to be, rainbows, lollipops, and nonstop orgasms. And everybody's going to be on the same page. And then we find out that it isn't. Well, compare what you see going on in the vaping community to what you see going on in every other aspect of your life. Compare it as objectively as you can, and you'll probably see there really is no difference. Okay, so that's the first point. The second point then is, why are people drama queens or drama kings, whatever you want to call these folks? I'll tell you what it is. Why are people addicted to drama? And this is my opinion because I'm not qualified in psychology or psychiatry, but I have walked the earth for a few 24 hours, and so I do have some idea about the mindset of the person who is constantly living in the negative underworld of life, and then consequently acting out in that negativity by creating drama, right? And effectively what we're talking about are people who are miserable people. They're miserable, right? They're more interested in bringing discord to life than harmony. They're more interested in bringing despair versus hope. They're more interested in living in the shadows than bringing light, or they're mired in sadness and not that capable of living in joy. They're more interested in being comforted than seeing who they can comfort. They're more interested in being understood than trying to understand others. That's what I've seen in my time on this earth, in terms of people who are drama queens. And I'm not immune from that, right? On any given day, I can very easily be a lot more concerned with my comfort than comforting others, or anything else on that list that I just went through. Our goal in life is to try to rise above it. You know, one of the things though that does make the vape community, let me phrase it differently. The drama in the vape community has a platform that no other area in my life has, and that's called YouTube. And so people can put out blast videos and things like that, and these are almost typically, not always, but almost typically, the drama queens. These are the people who they're miserable. They're not happy. They don't know joy. They have no serenity in their life. They're just discontented folks. And I say that not to disrespect anybody or put them down, because it's a tragedy for somebody to have to walk through life like that. Now, what I've been taught to do, because I'm not nearly smart enough to come up with ideas like this myself, but what I've been taught to do, and what I try to do when dealing with people like that, is to pray for them. That's what I do. I've been taught to pray that they would have everything in life, not material, but everything in their life that I would have for myself. So what do I value most in life? Peace of mind, love, friendship, happiness, moments of pure, unadulterated joy. These are the things that are more important to me than how much money I can spend on a mod. Well, this is more important than anything else. It's called coffee. Just trying to be honest here. So where are we going? We're going round and round in circles, but that's because I don't do this. So where we left off is what I try to do. And the reason I try to do that is not because I'm such a wonderful person. It's because when I let the miserable person, the resentful person, the source of negativity and drama, when I let that person get to me, I'm not impacting the drama queen. I'm hurting myself, right? I'm placing a burden on my heart that doesn't need to be there. And so, you know, I'm fortunate enough that in this life I've had certain mentors who have taught me certain skills. Now here's the gist, and here's the humility. I'm human, and because I'm human, I sometimes come up short. Sometimes I react in anger rather than doing what I know to do when I feel anger, gurgling up, and that is to simply pause when agitated and do a couple other things, and I won't go into the details. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, I become a keyboard warrior, and sometimes I bang something out on as a comment on a YouTube video, and it may be factually correct, but somebody I really look up to, and I'll say his name, he's not in the vaping community, his name is Old Joe. Old Joe is a long-time forensic psychiatric nurse, and he's one of my mentors. Not because he's a psychiatric nurse, but because he's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. He's 78 years old. And he tells me all the time, he's got this little three-prong approach to life in terms of responding. The first one is, the least important one, is it truthful? Now, that's where a lot of people stop, right? And sometimes that's where I stop. So when I turn into a keyboard warrior and I leave a comment on a video that I later regret, I've stopped at, is it honest? But it doesn't stop there. Because the second prong is it kind? Is it kind? And I forget that sometimes. Not most of the time, but some of the times. Is it honest? Is it kind? And then the third prong is it necessary? Is it really any of my business? So I can think of an instance in the last 2 days where what I said was honest, but it wasn't kind, and it wasn't necessary, and it was a comment left on a YouTube video, and it sat there for a day or two. It stirred up some shit. It stirred up some hard feelings between me and the person who left that video, and but I later went back and deleted that. I regretted putting it there, and I took care of it to the extent that I could take care of it. But that's because I'm human, right? Humility demands we acknowledge our humanness. Now, being a grown adult requires us to rise above our baser human instincts. So the bottom line is there's drama in the vape community. There's drama, I don't know, at the bingo parlor. Maybe you're in a knitting club or a book club or at your local place of worship. It really doesn't matter. There's negative people there because they're miserable, and negative people create drama because it's the only way they know how to act. And sometimes you're going to get mad at those people, just like I do. And by getting mad at them, we hurt nobody but ourselves. The adult reaction to people like that is to be sad. Truly sad. Because a life of negativity is a wasted life. One more thing I want to say about drama, and then I'm going to close this thing up because it's going on forever. We find ourselves in life within little groups, and sometimes groups of friends, and sometimes there's overlap in those groups, and sometimes drama happens, and then groups split up, and then there's no longer overlap. And we have to make decisions. And so maybe we're in a group, whatever the group may be. A group of people we hang out with. Maybe we go out and throw to a bar and throw darts, or we're in a co-rec softball league, right? Men and women. Always lots of room for drama when we mix the sexes, right? The problem is, at some point in time, if there's just a couple people within a group who are such a source of negativity and drama, there comes a time when we have to make the most difficult of choice. And that choice is whether to walk away from that group or not. Right? Because in the walking away from a group, we're leaving behind people we care about, people we love. But at some point in time, when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then we find ourselves in a position where we have to do something. We have to act. And sometimes that means to leave. And so I'll close this up with a quotation that I hold dear in my heart. It's not something I wrote. I'm not nearly good enough. But it goes like this. It says, "There comes a time in life when you walk away from all the drama and people who create it. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh. Forget the bad and focus on the good. Love the people who treat you right. Pray for the ones who don't. Life is too short to be anything but happy. Falling down is part of life. Getting back up is living." So with that, I'm not going to tell anybody here listening, the 4 or 5 people who will ultimately listen to this, what you need to do. It's not my role in life to tell anyone what they need to do. All I can tell you is what I do. And I think I've done that. So, yikes, 22 minutes. This is going to be the most boring video ever. We'll see if I'm going to put it up on YouTube. Anyway, positive vibes only. Walk away if you have to. But try not to harbor resentment in your heart. Because all you're doing is poisoning yourself. And you're doing nothing at all to the other person. Either to hurt them or to help them. So to those of you out there who are my friends, and you know this already, I love you very much. Peace out. Have a great day.